Hello and welcome to Clearview News. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. In the news, Nigeria marks maiden June 12 Democracy Day as President Buhari names Abuja Stadium after Abiola. The daughter of Chief MKO Abiola urges Nigerians to expect the spirit of June 12 in the current administration, commends President Buhari for honoring June 12 as Democracy Day. Former British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson launches campaign to replace Theresa May. I am Prudence O'Connor. President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration will work with the private sector to accelerate economic growth and reduce social inequalities through the social investment programs. The president at the maiden National Democracy Day celebration in Abuja this Wednesday also affirmed his optimism for a better Nigeria remains unshakable. Our correspondent Ifeoluwa Ishola was there and now reports.
Democracy Day is usually celebrated on the 29th May in commemoration of the end of military rule in Nigeria. This year's Democracy Day was quite remarkable and symbolic as it was celebrated on June 12 in place of the known May 29th. This is equal to the alteration of the National Holidays Act by the National Assembly and assented to President Muhammadu Buhari. In the President's maiden June 12 National Democracy Day address, President Buhari appreciated the citizens for voting him in the second time and enjoined them to be proud Nigerians and continue to be good neighbors and citizens. He further said that his administration will consolidate on the success of the last 4 years and take Nigeria to the next level which his administration represents.
This task is by no means unattainable. China has done it. India has done it. Indonesia has done it. Nigeria can do it. These are all countries characterized by huge burdens of population. China and Indonesia succeeded under authoritarian regimes. India succeeded in a democratic setting. We can do it. With leadership and sense of purpose, we can lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty.
Present were world leaders and prominent dignitaries from far and near who came to felicitate with Nigeria as she marks 20 years of unbroken democracy. There were performances from the various cultural troupes displaying the improvement in the agricultural sector under the present administration and a special parade ceremony by detachment of the Nigerian police. With the recognition of June 12 as the country's new Democracy Day, many believe that the honor deserved by the presumed winner of the 1993 election, Moshood Abiola, has been given him. Ifeoluwa Ishola, reporting for Clearview Television.
And moving on, in the light of celebrating the 20 years of Nigeria being led by democratically elected leaders, our correspondent Ifeoluwa Ishola was at the Eagle Square in Abuja, felt the pulse of the citizens on how the has fared democratically and now reports.
29 annually until last year when President Muhammadu Buhari declared June 12 to be the new Democracy Day. It's been 20 years Nigeria is celebrating being ruled by a democratic elected leader. And the question people are beginning to ask is how far has Nigeria fared under the democratic rule? Let's find out.
So far so good. Nigeria democracy, we are celebrating 20 years of Nigeria democracy. We are progressing. We are progressing under the democracy government. Nigeria has been allowed to exercise their rights democratically, elected their leader democratically.
We thank God for President Muhammadu Buhari, who has actually kept the promise he made. And now the whole world has seen that he is a true and better Democrat than those who were even accusing him of being a dictator in the past. President Muhammadu Buhari has demonstrated the true Democrat in him, more than those who were, more than his accusers. And we give God the glory that God has given us such a good, I call him the best president of Nigeria, impeccable, a man of high integrity, a man that cannot be faulted, and the whole world has seen it. I thank God that Nigeria voted him again this second term, so that whatever agenda that he has started, he will consolidate it for Nigeria and take us to the next level.
20 years of democracy, I would say we've come a long way on uninterrupted civil rule. We've come a long way. I think Nigeria is set for greater things. I think democracy is here to stay, because when you compare Nigeria and other developed democracies, you can say, you know, we're doing pretty well, because we're in a learning curve. As time goes on, we're going to improve. And I think the President, Buhari, has done a lot for democracy.
I know where we are 20 years ago. We're moving forward, and gradually we are having a free and fair election. But we're not where we're supposed to be, but we're making a lot of progress, and I think that's why we're celebrating this day.
We are celebrating democracy. We have come a long way, and I think this is the best we have seen. The President Muhammadu Buhari style of government is the best so far. You see what we are seeing now. We are already having a sense of belonging. Yes, there is hunger, but it's a process. It's all about process, and we will get there very soon. You can see the government of President Muhammadu Buhari is giving us back. The anti-corruption movement is taking us back, that other nations will be proud of Nigeria very soon. And we are doing well, and I celebrate today, and I celebrate our dear President Muhammadu Buhari, for coming thus far by the grace of Almighty God. And I know that this next level will be better than the other 4 years that we have just passed through now.
So far, Nigeria has fared progressively well under the democratic rule. From Eagle Square in Abuja, Ifeoluwa Ishola, reporting for Clearview Television.
Muhammadu Buhari has commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and Nigeria security agencies for conducting free and fair general polls in 2019 that brought him to power for second term. Buhari made the commendation during the June 12 Democracy Day celebration at the Eagle Square in Abuja. He said that INEC was given all the necessary support by providing the commission with all the resources needed for a successful electoral process. According to him, the various security agencies in the country must be commended for maintaining peace and order and for laying down their lives to protect the nation. Buhari said that the issue of terrorism was a worldwide phenomenon, that even the best secured countries were experiencing increasing incidences of unrest. He, however, said that the present administration would consolidate on the achievements of the last 4 years. And President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday in Abuja renamed the National Stadium Abuja after the late business mogul Chief MKO Abiola. Buhari announced this decision while delivering his inauguration speech for a second term at the Eagle Square. He said he had recognized June 12th as Democracy Day and honored winner of June 12, 1993 presidential election. Abiola, his running mate Babangida Kingibe, and Chief Sani Fayemi, who were at the forefront of actualizing Abiola's mandate in acknowledgement of the injustice done to Abiola by the annulment of his victory. And President Muhammadu Buhari has promised taking 100 million Nigerians from poverty to prosperity in the next 10 years. Buhari disclosed this in his opening speech at the inaugural June 12 Democracy Day celebration on Wednesday in Abuja. The president said that his administration would ensure rapid and positive growth in the economy to move Nigeria away from poverty. He said the gross domestic product is expected to grow by 2.7% this year, adding that the nation's external reserve has risen to $45 billion, enough to finance over 9 months of current equal commitments. The president noted that his administration has laid a foundation of taking bold steps in transforming the country and delivering people from shackles of poverty by integrating the rural economy to national economic grade by extending access to input to rural farmers as well as credit to rural micro businesses and opening up many critical feeder roads. He maintained that all small-scale enterprises in towns and cities would share facilities currently available so Nigeria can continue to encourage and support domestic production of basic goods to improve our lives. The president added that in the next 4 years, his administration will remain positive to improve the lives of people by consolidating on efforts to address many issues. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on Tuesday counselled Nigerians to exploit the diversity of the country for national development. He gave the advice during a toast at a dinner organized to mark 20 years of democracy in Nigeria ahead of a celebration slated for June 12th. June 12th had been formally pronounced as Democracy Day by President Muhammadu Buhari. Osinbajo said that Nigeria's strength hinged on its diversity, which had produced outstanding people in various fields of endeavor across the world. Earlier in his opening remarks, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, said the event was a unique one as it marked 20 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria. Mustapha congratulated Buhari and Osinbajo and all the heroes of Nigeria's democracy for laying the foundation and upholding democracy. He called that it was exactly 1 year ago that Buhari declared June 12 as Democracy Day. Mustapha thanked foreign presidents and dignitaries who graced the event and those who stood for Nigeria during its difficult times. The highlight of the event was unveiling of the photo book titled Being Buhari by the President. The daughter of Chief MKO Abiola, Hafsat Abiola Costello, on Wednesday said her father did not betray Nigerians and that the spirit of June 12 shouldn't be expected in the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. She said this at the Eagle Square venue of the first National Democracy Day celebration in Abuja during an interview with our correspondents. She described the day as a fulfillment of her father's vision, adding that Abiola trusted the Nigerian people that they would always defend him. She said President Buhari made this day Democracy Day, which should have been done since 1999, noting that it shows that the spirit of June 12 is what we should expect in this administration. Also at the venue, former Akwa Ibom State Governor Godswill Akpabio said Nigerians should be part of what President Buhari did by recognizing June 12 as National Democracy Day in Nigeria. A former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, on Wednesday said it is not enough to declare June 12 Democracy Day. He stated that while it is celebratory and commendable, the declaration of June 12 as Democracy Day, June 12 encapsulates and symbolizes the struggle to find solutions to many national problems. Atiku in a statement said the significance of the celebration of June 12, 1993 presidential election is a reminder of Nigeria's history to becoming a democratic country. According to him, on that day being 26 years ago, Nigerians voted for democracy against the jackboot notion of oppressive totalitarianism. He said the collective decision by Nigerians to elect democracy on that day was not to aggrandize the political elite or to replace military dictatorship with civilian autocracy. He explained that the choice of democracy was to restore power to the people. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in February election stated that it is not enough to declare June 12 a work-free day when the ordinary people of Nigeria still don't have the freedom to find a better life from the suffering grip of poverty. He added that it is not enough when Nigeria is now perceived as the global headquarters of extreme poverty. According to him, today, the minimum requirement for any June 12 convert is to demand of them, wherever they may be, either in government or in private lives, to deliver on the promises they made to the people. The Center for Democracy and Development say top on the list from the 2019 survey report for the ranking of most important policy priorities that Nigerians want President Buhari to address is the economy, with 52%, 45% and 43% as first, second and third priority followed by security. Presenting a keynote address celebrating 2019 Democracy Day tagged A Reflection on the 20 Years of Democracy in Nigeria, keynote speaker Muhammad Jega says for Nigeria to experience a better democracy going forward, it has to be done by its own steam. The report. Commemorating 2019 Democracy Day, which is now to be celebrated on June 12th every year, the Center for Democracy and Development says the 20 years of democratic rule in Nigeria has been eventful, but that things can be better as more work needs to be done. Presenting the report on the survey carried out by the Center for Democracy and Development, the director Idayat Hassan says top on the priority of Nigerians is the economy, followed by security.
What has become very obvious from what Nigerians have set their priorities for the next level is economy is very, very important. So when you look at the top three priorities, economy, 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 at a scale of 54%, 57%, then subsequently you find people talking about security as the second important priority. And corruption came up just as 4%, which tells you a story that while corruption is actually very important, people actually need food to be on their plates. The economy, the security, and of course corruption. And it's also important to note that people do have their ideas that they think that these issues should be addressed. From a citizen's point of view, they believe that when you create youth-specific jobs and jobs which are actually sustainable, not once in a while, you have to encourage foreign direct investment. Make the environment very friendly for people to come in and invest in it. Tighten up the news still on agriculture, which you can say that it's part of the achievements of this administration itself. Then get security right, because without a very secure environment, foreign direct investment itself will actually suffer. Then combat corruption.
Reflecting on the 20 years of democracy in Nigeria, the keynote speaker Mahmoud Jega highlighted some loopholes, stressing that Nigeria's liberal democracy have survived because of the hostility of the international community to authoritarianism. He went further to make some recommendations.
In the long run, therefore, if we desire to have liberal democracy in Nigeria, we must prepare to do so on our own steam. Democracy in Nigeria can only be guaranteed by its own internal successes. The most urgent one is to guarantee internal security, because without internal security, nothing else matters.
As President Muhammad Buhari begins his second and final 4-year term, there are questions still begging for answers. Among them are, will Nigerians experience a better economy under a more democratic setting? Is security going to improve given the growing spate of banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of criminality, even as the war against insurgency appears far from being over? You're watching Clearview Television News. We'll now go on the short break, and Clearview TV News continues after the break.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
ni ahoime bawoni enwome ati sojete bawoni iresu amohi baki epezwe ati ameme woroka meda shekura novede ebiraba beva sezone ni isamuhi oneri odobide kura ame oneri saza esikameni avabani voneva sevore diaka iresu ebiraba be TV oneva save obi down to zile sokoko eturonone ebiraba be yafabe inyo ishehun dia novede.
Látòrí ìdárayá kí orí ọ̀dọ́ látòrí ọ̀dọ́ olóṣèlú títí dé orí ọmọ lọ́balọ́ba àti ìjòyè ra wọn yìí. Ẹ̀kọ́ àti àṣà àti ìṣera ètò ẹ̀jáyé ìgbóra ó ti rá láti jẹ́ àmọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ní agbègbè ra àti àyíká ra nílẹ̀ ọkùn. Agbọ́ra àwòrán níbi ẹ̀tíyàwó ra ètò ẹ̀jáyé ìgbóra àti muarin gbogbo níbẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ àwòrán lórí rẹ̀. Ẹja sọmọ kọ́ ọmọ sọ.
Wow! Ekide ṣe wa gẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó máa gbómú wẹ. Ekide ṣe odúkalẹ̀ kebi kọ́lọ́yọ́gbá. Ká àwọn dúgbẹ́dẹ̀ mú àwọn ọmọ àgbàdùfò ọ̀nẹ́kẹ̀lẹ́ kọ́nùbulẹ̀. Mánìkẹ́ kọ́má alùpùpù gbá báyé alùpùpù kọ́ ìchíwa ìgalà. Omikùnà kà í ṣọmọ́mẹ́ kúkójànẹ̀ ìgalà dẹ̀. Ẹ̀dọ̀mí ṣẹ̀bọ́kù gbójúlé ìchọ́mọ́mẹ́ ìgalà. Lákínà gòwá ojí tẹlifíṣàn kìdẹ́ lọ́gbà. Ẹ̀kídẹ́rẹ́ máa bínú.
Welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Lawan and Gbajabiamila for emerging as the leaders of the 9th National Assembly. The president, in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, on Tuesday described their emergence as a new dawn different from the duplicity and perfidy that characterized the 8th National Assembly, led by immediate past Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki and the next Speaker Dogara. The president also saluted all the national legislators and their political parties for their display of patriotism and non-partisanship before and during the election. He commended the transparent and fair nature of the voting process, adjudging it as a plus for democracy in the country. Buhari advised the leadership to use their exalted positions to work for the interest of Nigerians. The president also touched on executive-legislature relationships, saying the executive does not desire a rubber-stamp legislature, adding that while separation of powers is essential, collaboration among all arms of government should be the name of the game. The president added that stepping into the next level, the legislature has a big role to play for the goals of the administration to be achieved. He also called on the contestants who lost the election to be gallant in defeat and join hands with the victors who should exhibit magnanimity and ensure vindictiveness. The National Publicity Secretary of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Uche Achiokpaga, on Tuesday described the National Assembly elections as an orchestrated gang-up against the Southeast geopolitical zone. In a statement in Abakaliki, the organization said it was not surprised at the outcome, noting that the region did not expect any favor from the administration. He said the government of President Buhari does not place any premium on the Southeast, adding that Buhari did not mean some mumble words about that right from the onset of his first tenure. For his part, Chief Abia Onyike advised Ndigbo to sit down and decide their political direction. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says the crisis that marred the general elections would have been avoided if President Muhammadu Buhari had signed the amended Electoral Act. Wike said the amended Electoral Act would legitimize the card reader system and strengthen the process of results collation. The governor spoke during a courtesy visit by a political team from the British High Commission to Government House in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. Wike added, with card readers, results that don't tally with the accredited figures in the device will not be accepted. Immediate past governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, has commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for issuing him his certificate of return as the senator-elect for Imo West. Okorocha, in a statement by his media aide Sam Onwemedo Inoweri, said that he was happy that the issuance of certificates of return received national and international attention. He thanked God and Nigerians for their concern and solidarity all through the period his certificate of return was an issue. He also expressed gratitude to the judiciary for being there for those who hunger for justice. A presidential committee on the Northeast Initiative (PCNI) and the Northeast Development Commission (NEDC) have met in Abuja to discuss the way forward in the devastated region and to hand over formally to the NEDC. As Clearview TV's Busola Owaruna reports, the successful takeoff of the commission is in realization of the Buhari's administration commitment to add meaning and make a positive difference in the lives of Nigerians in the Northeast.
In responding to humanitarian crises in some regions in Nigeria, the activities of various governmental and non-governmental organizations have become key. To effectively coordinate these activities, the Presidential Committee on the Northeast Initiative, among other initiatives, has been working hard to ensure that the financial, material, and moral assistance from concerned governmental organizations, groups, and individuals get to affected areas and victims. However, the Northeast Development Commission is to lead the reconstruction in the Northeast. Both the NEDC and the PCNI at a formal meeting discussed extensively on issues and activities embarked upon by the PCNI as salient issues were raised and tackled.
I want to make sure that we decide to function as religiously as possible to make sure that we achieve the outcome being envisaged for the Commission in that act.
So we shall do everything possible to take care of all the thousands that we have been talking about in the meeting in the country and outside the country.
After which was the handing over proper by PCNI to NEDC.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
President Muhammadu Buhari had signed into law the establishment of the Northeast Development Commission in October 2017 with a mission to lead the reconstruction and development of Nigeria's Northeast region that has been devastated by insurgency, banditry, and other forms of criminality. Busola Oworu reporting for Clearview Television.
Governor Bello Muhammad Matawali of Zamfara State has disclosed that end to banditry will no longer be lip talk but by action based on the outcome of his meeting with leaders of the Fulani and their famous association, Mieti Alakatu Breeders Association. The meeting, according to the governor, was fruitful based on arrangements reached with the Fulanis at the government house Tuesday night. The governor disclosed that the Fulani leaders intimated him on the Fulani outlaws' willingness to surrender their weapon and self to be civil and abide by the laws of the land. The governor said the information at his disposal indicates that the outlaw Fulanis are tired of their activities, especially because they lack freedom of movement, access to social needs, and a host of others. The governor further unveiled that his government has also pledged to embrace anyone among them who turn a good leaf and is willing to assimilate into the society. He said he will provide basic social amenities to the repentant bandits and ensure that their children go to school, aside from other incentives that will keep them in the good books of the law. The Nigerian Army has said it is at the stage of conducting stabilization operations in parts of the northeast geopolitical zone of the country following the degradation of Boko Haram insurgents. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai disclosed this in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, while speaking at June 12th lecture organized by a Good Governance Group, the Unity House Foundation, with the theme National Security Beyond Power, Passion and Politics. Buratai, who was represented by the General Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Jamil Sarham, said the operation will ensure that the civil populace in the internally displaced persons camps return to their homes for socio-economic activities to thrive in their communities. The Chief of Army Staff stated that the Nigerian Army has also restored normalcy to the creeks of the Niger Delta, which has increased the level of socio-economic activity in the region. In his lecture titled Insecurity Bigger Than Recession and a Bigger Threat to Democracy, former Vice-Chancellor of Igbenedion University, Okada, Edo State, Professor Ehosa Osare, said countries like United States of America and South Africa have conquered insecurity of hunger. Also speaking, a senior lecturer in the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Eme Ekwekwe, said Nigerians are yet to have a government made by Nigerians, pointing out that governments in Nigeria are made by the British. Earlier in his opening remarks, convener of Unity House Foundation, Kingsley Wenenda Wali, said security is a collective responsibility and urged the citizens to take bold steps to secure themselves. The Commandant General, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abdullahi Ghana, has added massive deployment of personnel to areas of banditry and cattle rustling in Katsina State. Ghana gave the directive to the Katsina State Commandant Ahmad Al-Hassan in a statement made available on Wednesday in Abuja. The statement disclosed that the CG had earlier summoned Al-Hassan to Abuja to brief him on the security situation in the state. Ghana said deployment was to complement the personnel already on ground for Operation Sharandaji in the state. He said the Corps needed to work in synergy with other sister security agencies to ensure security of lives and property among the people in the country. Ghana promised to send additional equipment and logistics to the Katsina State Command to boost its operations. The CG, who assured members of the public of their safety, called for calm as he advised them to remain law-abiding and to report any serious suspicious movement to security agencies. Some unknown gunmen suspected to be armed bandits on Tuesday afternoon abducted the village head of Garin Labo in Basari local government area of Katsina State. The village head, whose name was not given, was said to have been abducted about 1 p.m. while on his farmland along with some other villagers. Sources said the bandits stormed the farmlands on motorcycles and started shooting indiscriminately. It was in the confusion of the moment that the village head was abducted, while those with him fled in different directions. The spokesman for the Katsina Police Command, SP Gambo Issa, while confirming the development on Wednesday, said efforts are on ground to recover the traditional ruler. A traditional ruler, the Iresi of Osi in Akure North Council area of Ondo State, Oba David Olajide, on Tuesday escaped being abducted by 6 gunmen on his way from the state police headquarters in Akure, where his subjects, a mother and her stepson, ran to after escaping from kidnappers' den when the kidnappers were asleep. The subjects, Olawumi Adeleye, 25, and her stepson, Destiny Paul, 14, were kidnapped on the same Akure Obaile Airport Road while going to church on Sunday. It was gathered that they ran to Eleyowo village and thereafter to Aroromi community. The head of Aroromi community later took the duo to the state police headquarters after they explained to them how they were kidnapped on Sunday and how they escaped. When he heard the news, the traditional ruler led other chiefs of the community to the police headquarters to see his subjects, only to be attacked on his way back. Oba Olajide told newsmen that the kidnappers flooded the highway with their cows, and while he was waiting for the cows to leave the highway, 6 armed men came out from the bush and attacked him in his vehicle. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to celebrate the Accreditation Day, Nigeria National Accreditation Service, NINAS, in collaboration with Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, has enjoined all relevant stakeholders to use accreditation as a tool to protect citizens and their investment by delivering quality and efficient products and services. The director of NINAS, Celestine Okanya, this Tuesday in Abuja, says the organization is working towards pushing Nigeria to a top-producing country of quality goods and services that consumers can trust. Clearview TV's Ife Oluwa Ishola was there and now completes the story.
Different stakeholders from relevant parastatals are gathered to discuss how the country can improve its delivery of products in a timely, cost-efficient and quality manner. The director of NINAS, Celestine Okoya, while addressing the media, says the discussion is expected to yield a positive outcome that will ensure that the country becomes a reliable producer of quality goods and services.
Message we are trying to share, which I think everyone will take home, is to understand that from the manufacturers down to the customers or clients that use, me and you who use things at home, the process by which all those things got to us, accreditation played role. And if they play role in everything we do, whether it is your health, whether it is the product you use, this phone I'm using, or even the hair that you put in on your head, everything that you use in life, if we can recognize that accreditation is important to ensure that we trust it, have confidence in them, then Nigeria should embrace it and apply it in our procurement.
The keynote speaker, Theophilus Farina, identified the challenges faced by the supply chain and recommended that policies and adequate steps be taken to add value to the country's supply chain management.
There are certain major areas that need to be considered in supply chain management. And for products, there are three major things: product flow, information flow, and the flow of finance. Because the products have to flow from the manufacturer through the information that passes across. And then there have to be financial backing by paying for that services. And so in all of this, there is a logistic cycle that is in place, ensuring that the personnel competencies is not compromised.
In an interview, the President Nigerian Quality Infrastructure Forum, Abdulrasheed Yerima, says the vision of the forum is to see that the private sector is not left behind in working towards delivery of quality services.
Most of the manufacturers and entrepreneurs are even not aware of quality issues in their activities, in their business. So that is the issue of awareness. We need to address that. And that of capacity is that they don't have the knowledge and the skill needed for them to be able to address such issues in their business activities. So that's why we come in as under the organized private sector umbrella to take them through so that this and other issues relating to quality can be assured and then can be taken care of, can be addressed so that we can give very good quality in terms of products and services.
We'll improve our accreditation facilities so that we'll be able to catch up with all the industries as well, and ensure that we do things according to the according to necessary conformities, and ensure that the services, goods and services that we render in this country are of high quality.
In a bid to reduce road crashes to the barest minimum, drivers, educators will go through serious scrutiny. Federal Road Safety Corps Marshal Boboyo Yeyemi made this position known at the June 2019 edition of Lunchtime Reform Seminar on key governance and service delivery issues faced by the FRSC in the process of issuing driver's license and its role in reducing road accidents in Abuja. Clearview Television correspondent Magdalene Michael reports that the Corps Marshal, who was represented by the Deputy Corps Marshal, insists that the Corps is not resting on its oars to ensure that existing loopholes are covered.
Road accidents, which constitutes a menace in Nigeria in modern times, have become a recurring phenomenon. Studies have shown that deaths from reckless driving
are the third leading causes of death in Nigeria. This, among other issues according to the FRSC, are caused by human factor, hence the responsibility of ensuring safer roads rests on all Nigerians.
The FRSC efforts are yielding desired results, while future plans have also been commenced so as to ensure that the Corps stay ahead of possible breaches. The task of ensuring safety on our roads is actually a shared responsibility. Achieving crash-free road traffic transport system cannot be left in the hands of these FRSC men you are seeing here and the law enforcement agencies alone, but it is for all us. MDAs and non-governmental organizations are invited to contribute their quotas towards this important task.
On the issue of driver's licensing, the Deputy Corps Marshal Kenneth Nwegbe noted that the process and procedure have to be followed.
The overall FRA strategic approach is to ensure sustainability of policy direction, implementation and accountability, ultimate to achieving a nation of standard where road traffic crashes result in no deaths.
Bureau of Public Service Reforms Acting Director General Dasuki Arabi said, road crashes have been identified both globally and domestically as a socio-economic challenge.
There is growing recognition that despite significant increase in resources, public service delivery is still failing in many developing countries, Nigeria not an exception. Political and governance factors may offer at least part of the explanations for these problems. A stronger evidence-based approach is needed to establish these factors with greater access across the country to analyze data identified around these common constraints.
The consequences of road crashes on the society are enormous as they increase the burden on the social security and welfare system of a country, with an ever-increasing loss in skills and rising costs to the economy. In Abuja, Magdalene Michael reporting for Clearview Television.
You're watching Clearview Television News. We'll be back after this timeout.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
Uni ahoime, banguni enwome, ati sojete, banguni iresu amuhi, baki epezwe, ati ameme worokame, da shekura novede, ibiraba beva sezone ni, isambuhi, oneri odobide kura ame, oneri saza, esi kameeni, avabani voneva sevore, diaka, iresu ibiraba be TV, oneva sevo vidaune, dozile sokoko, eturonone, ibiraba be, yavabe, dinyo ishehun, dia novede.
You're welcome back, and to some foreign stories. A 5-year-old boy in Uganda has reportedly died from Ebola. The death is the first in Uganda amid a deadly outbreak in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Health officials said that the boy's grandmother and younger brother also have the disease. More than 2,000 cases have been recorded in DR Congo in the last 10 months, most of which have been fatal. The boy is said to have traveled across the border with his family from DR Congo on Sunday. According to the officials, he was then taken to a Ugandan hospital. WHO and Ugandan health officials in a joint statement also said about 4,700 health workers have been vaccinated against the disease. The epidemic killed 11,310 people in West Africa between 2013 and 2016. Former British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson on Wednesday launched his campaign to replace Theresa May as leader of the Conservative Tory party and Prime Minister. May stepped down as Tory leader and Prime Minister on June 7 after failing to take Britain out of the European Union on schedule. May had delayed Brexit twice, most recently to October 31st, as she tried and failed to get her divorce deal through Parliament. Boris Johnson's campaign launch comes as lawmakers move to stop him and other headliners from delivering a no-deal Brexit. Johnson, considered the favourite among 10 candidates to succeed May and a leading figure in the 2016 referendum vote to leave, has said he will deliver on the results with or without a deal with Brussels. However, opposition parties backed by some Conservatives are putting forward a motion in Parliament's lower house of Commons to seek to block any attempt to leave the EU with no deal. They fear that severing ties overnight with Britain's biggest trading partner would bring huge economic disruption. And violent clashes broke out in Hong Kong on Wednesday as police tried to stop protesters storming the city's parliament. Tens of thousands of people blocked key arteries in a show of strength against government plans to allow extraditions to China. Clashes broke out shortly after the 3 p.m. deadline protesters had given for the government to abandon the controversial bill lapsed. Most of the protesters, comprising young people and students, are calling on the authorities to scrap the Beijing-backed law. Police used tear gas, pepper spray and batons to disperse crowds of black-clad demonstrators who gathered in the center of the city ahead of a scheduled debate in the city's legislature. As crowds swelled with major road blocked by throngs of protesters, the Legislative Council said it would delay the second reading of the bill to a later date. Western governments have also voiced alarm with the US this week, warning the bill would put people at risk of China's capricious judicial system. Beijing hit back on Tuesday with a foreign ministry official saying China resolutely opposes interference in Hong Kong's affairs. You're watching Clearview Television News. Up next is sports. Stay with us.
Uni ahoime banguni enwome ati sojete banguni iresu amuhi baki epezwe ti ameme woroka meda shekura novede ibiraba beva sezoni ni isamuhi oneri odobide kura ame oneri saza esikameni avabani voneva sevore diaka iresu ibiraba be TV oneva sevo vidaune dozire sokoko eturonone ibiraba be yafabe inyo ishehun dia novede.
Látòrí ìdárayá kí orí ọ̀dọ̀, látòrí ọ̀dọ̀ olóṣèlú títí dé orí ọ̀wọ́n lọ́balọ́ba àti ìjòyè àwọn yìí. Ẹ̀kọ́ àti àṣà àti ìṣẹ̀ra. Ètò ẹ̀jáyé ìgbọ́ra ó ti rá láti jẹ́ àmọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. Ní agbègbè ra àti àyíkára lílẹ̀ ọkùn. Àgbọ́ra àwòrán níbi ẹ̀tíyàwó ra ẹ̀. Ètò ẹ̀jáyé ìgbọ́ra àti mọ́rin gbogbo níbẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ àwòrán lórí rẹ̀.
Ẹja sọmọ kọ́ ọmọ sọ.
Wow! Ekide ṣe wa gẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó máa gbómú wẹ. Ekide ṣe odúkaní kebi kọ́lọ́yọ́gbá. Ká àwọn dúgbẹ́dẹ̀ mú àwọn ọmọ àgbàdùfò ọ̀nẹ́kẹ̀lẹ́ ponúbulẹ̀. Mánike kọ́má alùpùpù gbá báyìí alùpùpù kọ ìchíwa ìgalà. Omi kùnà ká iṣọ́ máa mẹ́ kókó jẹ́nẹ̀ ìgalà dẹ̀. Ẹ̀dọ̀mí ṣẹ̀bọ́ kò gbójúlé òṣọ́mámẹ́ ìgalà. Lẹ́kínà gòwá ojí tẹlifíṣàn kìdẹ́ lọ́gbà. Ẹ̀kídẹ́rẹ́ máa bínú.
Hello and welcome to the sporting segment of Clearview Television. I'm Oguntimehin Tolulokpe Oguntimehin. Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has named the Abuja National Stadium after MKO Abiola, who won the 1993 general election in the country, but the result was announced by the military government. Buhari announced this in a speech today, June 12, which has now been set aside by the Nigerian government as the country's Democracy Day. The Abuja Stadium was specially built for the 2003 All-African Games hosted by Nigeria. It has a capacity of 45,000 and has hosted several top tournaments, including the 2009 FIFA Under-19 World Cup. African champions Nigeria defeated Korea Republic 2-0 on Wednesday and earned their first 3 points of the 8th FIFA Women's World Cup. In the event, the Super Falcons set stage for a fierce encounter with host nation France on Monday next week as they look to reach the knockout round for the first time in 20 years. Having lost 0-3 to Norway in their first match, the Falcons opted for a spirited approach against the Koreans, but Captain Desire Akwaronose wasted a great opportunity in the 8th minute when presented with a simple header from a pull-out from Ngozi Ebere. She nodded straight at the Korean goalkeeper. The most inspired decision for the game by Nigeria's coach Thomas Zenebi was starting former junior international Chiamaka Nnadozie in goal and sending Tochukwu Oluwayi, who was so jittery against Norway, to the bench. The 18-year-old goaltender simply continued from where she left off at the 2018 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup hosted by France, where she drew some rave reviews. She cuddled and punched with good judgment, used her long limbs marvelously, and stood between the Asians and any goal in the game. Her competence and confidence enabled the Falcons to push forward in search of goals. After Korean defender Kim Do-young misdirected a forward thrust by midfielder Rita Chikwelu past the goalkeeper for Nigeria's first goal in the 29th minute, the Falcons' spirit soared and they buzzed the game for a large period. Nigeria could have made it to 4 minutes after the result, but the Akwaronose header from a floated free kick by left back Ngozi Ebere went narrowly over the woodworks. At the back, Nigeria kept things tight against the faster Koreans, with Onomebi appearing at the 5th World Cup, Osinachi Ohale and Chidima Okeke throwing everything in there. Rita Chikwelu, Ngozi Okobi, and Chinaza Uchendu worked hard in the midfield, but it was the intelligent right back Okeke, another performer from the 2018 FIFA Women's World Cup, who got her touches right to send Asita Toshola to nick the second goal for Nigeria with 15 minutes left. As the Koreans attacked, Okobe read the ball well, intercepted, letting Okeke have it, and to surge forward, the 18-year-old steered the ball past an advancing Korean and met it at the other end, then waited a pass to Oshola, who ran past the defender, beat the goalkeeper, and slotted into the net from a rather tight angle. It was a magnificent goal scored by Nigeria. The win was Nigeria's first at the FIFA Women's World Cup since 2011 when they defeated Korea 1-0. When they defeated Canada 1-0 in Germany. It was also the first time they had won a World Cup match 2-0 since achieving the same scoreline against Denmark in USA in 1999. It was also the first win for an African team at the ongoing World Cup in France. The result means 3 precious points for Super Falcons and a real chance of reaching the knockout round for the first time since 1999 if they avoid defeat against host nation France in Rennes on Monday. Nigeria's under-15 team, the Future Eagles, early Wednesday morning, defeated Mexico 3-1 in the opening match of the 2019 Japan Dreams Cup Invitational Tournament. The teenagers, led by coach Haruna Ilerika, were compact and ruthless as they brushed aside the Mexicans in brazen fashion. Soprochukwu Egozonu led the rout in the first half, while Tobi Adeleke converted a penalty before Adeyeye Damilola buried the match beyond the reach of the Mexicans with a third goal. The Mexicans, who rallied around in the twilight of the game, got a consolation. The win put the team in good stead as Japan and Romania battled a 1-0 draw in the second match of the tournament. However, Japan prevailed against the Romanians in the penalty shootout with a 4-2 triumph. The Future Eagles' next match is Thursday against host nation Japan by 10 a.m. Nigerian time. Nigeria Professional League side Enyimba of Aba have won the MPFL title for a record 8 times. The People's Elephant beat Akwa United 3-0 at Agege Stadium in Lagos to record unassailable 12 points from 5 matches in the championship playoff. Goals by Ruben Bala, Stanley Jingba, and Abdurrahman Bashir gave the 2-time African champions a deserved win over frontrunners Akwa United, whose Brazilian coach Rafael Everton was reported to have been sacked by the management. Enyimba will now be one of Nigeria's representatives in the CAF Champions League. The League Management Company LMC has fined Kano Pillars the sum of 8 million naira. The LMC also banned the captain of the side, Rabiu Ali, for 12 matches and ordered the club to play their next 3 home matches behind closed door. The punishment came after fans of Kano Pillars attacked the central referee during the match day 4 of the ongoing MPFL Super 6 against Rangers in Aige Stadium, Lagos. The club were also handed a suspended 3 points deduction if their fans engage in unsporting behavior in the future. Supporters sympathetic to the Kano Pillars Football Club invaded the pitch, damaged perimeter fences and advertising panel while hurling objects at the VIP stand at the end of the fixtures between Kano Pillars and Rangers International, which ended 1-1. The League Management Company, in a summary jurisdiction, noticed Kano Pillars with a 4-count breaches of the framework and rules of the MPFL, including breaches of the rule B13, 18, C9, C1.1. Rabiu Ali was also charged for accosting the referee and in so doing incited others to commit acts of violence and misconduct in breach of rule C1. And that's it from the sporting segment of Clearview Television. I'm Ogutimehin to Lulapo Ogutimehin.
There it is. What a shot from Tiger. And the Jamaican juggernaut scores his first goal for a professional side. And
And that's the news. Before we go, a look at our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has renamed the National Stadium Abuja after Chief MKO Abiola and promised to take 100 million Nigerians out of poverty as the nation marks the maiden June 12 Democracy Day. The daughter of Chief MKO Abiola, Hafsat Abiola Costello, on Wednesday said her father did not betray Nigerians and that the spirit of June 12 should be expected in the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Former British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson on Wednesday launched his campaign to replace Theresa May as leader of the Conservative Tory Party and Prime Minister. And that's the news. Remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel via Clearview TV, like us on Facebook via Clearview Television Online, follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online, follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. You can also watch Clearview TV on Night Concert with any free-to-air decoder. For details, contact your local installer. I am Prudence Okonna. Many thanks for watching.